So Alvin, looks like you've kind of transformed this log a little bit. What have you been up to?
Well, there it is, right there. Sawdust and chips. And mostly just blocking it out on chainsaw work and some grinder work, some chisel work.
So that's what you kind of look at when you're doing this?
Right, this gives me just basic proportions and the gesture, and I'm not doing anything specific yet. And I'm having to do some altering of the pose because of the wood, and having to I go back and forth between chisels and this grinder. So I'll take a lot of wood off with the grinder, with the chisels, and then I'll come and even everything out with the grinder, and then I'll go back with the chisels again. And this one tends to harmonize. It takes a lot of wood. I can really make a lot of progress. And because it's such a straight grain wood, I can make cross cuts and come back at it with this chainsaw, that gouge and that grinder. Not as high a quality as I thought. I've hollowed it out on the base as best I could, took all the stress off so that as it shrinks and dries, it'll have some ability to move down there. This is being hollowed out so that the other figure will fit into place. The base is going to be a couple of timbers running this way. I go deeper in here to get below some defects in the wood. The wood is really fun to carve. It's a nice, easy wood to carve, and it's going to have some beautiful linear grain to it. These kinds of curves in the grain. Well, that'll happen more and more as I model the forms. So if I were to hollow out on this side, well then these curves would also start coming around this way with the grain. 2 weeks of about averaging 10-hour days. A couple of times I thought I had gone too far and realized no, I'm not. Well, I'm going to continue with this a little bit and work on these arms and this head, because ultimately everything is proportioned according to that head. I've got to get that placed perfectly and fairly near the proportion I want to really understand, because it's a much more graceful figure that's in there. This is a very chunky, hefty looking figure. Really, the most important part of these two figures are the gestures of the hands. That's where the gesture is. It's in the reaching and the offering and the giving to the earth. You know, the hands of the other figure will be heart-shaped, and fingers will be actually going into the base of the earth. Right, and all the contours will be directed up to those fingers. I just want to see it standing up at this point.